Hello and welcome to Musou Missives. This is a series where I discuss the characters featured in Warriors Orochi 3 and discuss their strengths, weaknesses, strategies, and make suggestions for playing them at high levels. If you're watching this just on YouTube, this is actually episode 5 of my series. The first 4 installments, as well as a special, were written on my blog, punchkickallinthemind.wordpress.com. A link will be below in the description. I will also be posting a written version of this episode there as well, if you want to read more. The character featured in this episode actually won our double Musou poll, so let's talk a little bit about Masamune Dante. Historically, Masamune Dante is regarded as a fearsome tactician as well as a purveyor of culture. Dante's cruel and fierce reputation likely comes from his early years when he killed his own brother to maintain control of his clan. Similarly, many of Dante's tactical decisions were practical ones, joining forces with stronger clans to protect his own clan. Because of this, he wasn't very well trusted among his peers, however. The Warriors series, and Warriors Orochi in particular, portrays this aspect quite well. Dante frequently sides with Orochi and the demons due to their more substantial numbers. He typically only sides with our heroes when it seems to benefit his own power and survival. So before we start staring down the barrel of that gun, let's see what Masamune Dante has to offer. Masamune Dante is a technique class character. This grants him the ability to deal more damage to enemies while they're in a juggle state, and gives him the ability to strafe, allowing him to move across the field very quickly while still guarding. This also makes it easier to set up counters with Dante, which are very crucial to his playstyle. His officer ability is Dexterity, which reduces the damage taken from enemy combos. This helps primarily against enemy officers who tend to do more combos than any other enemies on the field. This pairs well with Dante's moveset, which tends to be very effective against enemy officers, as we're about to discuss. Speaking on Dante's moveset, we'll start with Dante's most versatile attacks, and then move down from there. Dante's Charge 5 is one of his best options, as it knocks enemies upward on both sides. The window for Dante to follow with another combo is small, however. It is best used by swap canceling it to set up a juggle for an incoming ally. It's also one of his most reliable area of effect attacks, but because it comes so late in his combo string, it's difficult to use expressly for that purpose. His Charge 4 combo is a good AoE effect as well, as it ends with a pirouette of guns. Before that though, Dante slashes multiple times in front of him, so it's better as a preventative measure rather than using it once he has already been surrounded. It doesn't set up for juggles or swaps very well, but you can Musou afterwards to pick up enemies he knocked away. His normal combo is his other mostly safe option, as he goes through the attacks quick enough to avoid damage most of the time. The end, where he fires bullets directly in front of him, still leaves him quite vulnerable, however. If you saw one of my previous videos, you probably saw a nifty trick that Masamune Dante can do with his air normal. It slows his descent and fires bullets on unsuspecting enemies. You can also go from this into his air charge to set up a juggle, albeit against only a small number of enemies. In spite of this being a unique trick with Dante, it's not terribly useful and most effective only on certain terrain. It can be used effectively after a mid-air somersault, however. His Charge 2 and Charge 1 combos are very damaging as they juggle an opponent, activating his technique ability. This can really help take down pesky officers quickly, but both of these leave Dante quite vulnerable, so they can't be used in large crowds very often. Also, they tend not to set up swaps very well, though with good timing it is possible to swap cancel a Charge 1. Dante's Charge 3 combo is his most frustrating. He moves forward, then fires shockwaves in 2 directions twice. This seems like it should effectively knock away enemy hordes, but misses the diagonals. Also, if you turn Dante in another direction, it may not hit all around him anyway. This move is a bit unwieldy to use against officers as well, so its uses become extremely limited. Masamune Dante's special attack is his saving grace in crowds, as it moves him out of the horde and sprays enemies around him with gunfire. It's best used as a retreat from a bad situation rather than as a combo setup. Swap canceling out of the attack will allow you to set up a character who performs better against multiple opponents. His Musou attack is his best AoE option overall, but is also really good at the end of a long combo string. It juggles a large area of enemies and can help finish off an officer who has eaten a heavy combo already. To get the most out of Dante's moves, you'll want his weapons to have Flak and Blast, since he's very reliant on juggles and projectiles for damage. Courage will help against officers as well. Destruction will increase the damage from his Musou. Ice and Wind can help a more aggressive player, though any element really works for him. No character is averse to agility either. Brawn can be useful, though Might is preferable under most conditions. Since his special is used to get out of situations rather than do damage, Frenzy is complete waste for him. Other options are possible, but Dante doesn't seem to get as much mileage out of any of them as other characters would. A good Dante loadout should look something like this. From here, I'm going to give a few recommendations as to how you should build a Dante-centered team, or a team that can fully take advantage of Dante's abilities. Keep in mind that these are just recommendations. By no means should you just only use these characters. There are 120 something odd characters in this, so feel free to experiment. And with that, my first team is actually Zhonghui, Kaguya, and Dante. Admittedly, this is a redundant team from my last installment. The combination of Zhonghui and Kaguya is built around building Team Gauge with Zhonghui's combos and Kaguya's Trinity ability, and then using the team attack as often as possible. Now, admittedly, this team doesn't really focus on Dante. He does take some advantage in being part of it, but he doesn't really provide a whole lot in turn. So consider this as more of a starting point. The next team is Masamune Dante alongside Ieyasu Tokugawa and Tadakatsu Honda. This team has much better synergy than my previous one. Tadakatsu and Ieyasu are much better at clearing out the riffraff than Dante, and Dante swaps into many of their combos very easily. Ieyasu is especially good at setting up juggles for Dante to capitalize on. The team combines several defensive skills, Solidarity, Fortitude, and Dexterity, making this a powerful defensive team. But it may struggle to deal damage without a good offensive item or two. Now, almost ironically, Dante's competition in the double Musou poll is one of his better partners, actually. Wengi is quite good at clearing crowds on her own, but can struggle against singular opponents. Masamune Dante is just the opposite, so the two complement each other's style very well. Plus, Wengi's efficacy ability makes Dante even more effective against enemy officers. As a third, Kiyomori Taira fits pretty well as a bridge between the two. His power class and solidarity skill make him much more sturdy, and he also has a dash attack that allows him to pick up enemies from either Wengi's AoE effects or Dante's juggle setups. But the standout team here was quite a surprise for me. This team has a remarkable amount of synergy and make for an incredible experience to play as. Masanori Fukushima serves as the team's point character, able to take abuse, as well as deliver powerful attacks in the meantime. However, most of Fukushima's charge attacks leave him open to attack afterward. Swap canceling in Nagamasa Azai can either get the team out of a sticky situation or continue a devastating combo. Dante serves the team best at the tail end of a long swap cancel combo, as he can then concentrate on enemies with more health and clean up. This team works so well that I was able to swap cancel through the whole team twice before dropping a combo. Overall, Masamune Dante is a character that takes some skill and concentration to play. His style doesn't allow him to charge in heedlessly and requires some amount of care and thought. Once you've gotten accustomed to him though, he's wickedly powerful and a very fun character to play as. And with that, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Musou Missives. If you did, click the like button and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more. Also, feel free to leave suggestions for future installments in the comments below. As for our next installment, I think it's time we went back to ancient China.